From the back streets of Leningrad, to the corridors of the KGB, to the Kremlin's gilded halls, Vladimir Putin's journey is one of secrecy, strategy, and sheer political survival. This is the story of the man who has ruled Russia for over 2 decades, and the controversies that define him. Born in 1952 in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. Putin grew up in a cramped communal apartment in a city still scarred by war. At Leningrad State University, he studied law, but his real ambition was to join the KGB, the Soviet Union's powerful intelligence agency. In 1975, Putin entered the KGB, serving as a foreign intelligence officer. He was stationed in Dresden, East Germany, under deep cover, mastering the art of information, influence, and control. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Putin left the KGB with the rank of lieutenant colonel, but carried its discipline and networks into his next chapter. He joined the administration of St. Petersburg's mayor, Anatoly Sobchak, rising quickly through the ranks with a reputation for loyalty and efficiency. By 1997, Putin was in Moscow, working in the presidential administration. In 1998, he became head of the FSB, the KGB's successor. In August 1999, President Boris Yeltsin appointed Putin as prime minister. Few outside Russia knew his name, but that would change fast. On December 31, 1999, Yeltsin resigned unexpectedly, naming Putin acting president. Within months, he won the election outright. His early presidency was defined by the Second Chechen War, a brutal conflict that cemented his image as a strongman. Putin restructured Russia's political system, bringing regional governors under Kremlin control and tightening media influence. High oil prices fueled economic growth in the 2000s, boosting living standards and Putin's popularity. Constitutional limits forced him to step down after 2 terms, but he became prime minister under Dmitry Medvedev, keeping real power. In 2012, Putin returned to the presidency amid mass protests over election fairness. Russia's annexation of Crimea brought international condemnation and sanctions, but boosted his approval at home. In 2015, Russia entered the Syrian civil war, projecting military power far beyond its borders. Opposition figures faced arrests, restrictions, and in some cases, exile. Critics accused him of eroding democracy. A national referendum approved changes allowing Putin to potentially remain in power until 2036. Putin launched what he called a special military operation in Ukraine, triggering the largest European conflict since World War II. Western nations imposed sweeping sanctions, isolating Russia's economy and leadership. Inside Russia, state media framed the conflict as a defense of national security and sovereignty. In 2024, Putin secured another term with a reported 88% of the vote, amid allegations of suppression and lack of competition. Official imagery portrays him as a decisive, athletic, and patriotic leader, a carefully crafted public image. From the poisoning of political opponents to accusations of corruption, his critics paint a far darker picture. Despite criticism, many Russians credit him with restoring national pride and stability after the chaos of the 1990s. Putin's foreign policy has reshaped alliances, challenged NATO, and deepened ties with China. A private figure, Putin's family life remains largely out of the public eye, adding to his mystique. Current term, the world watches to see how his story, and Russia's, will unfold. From the shadows of the KGB to the spotlight of the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin's journey is far from over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.